Hi guys, welcome to Samba Souk. We're about global expansion, innovation, cultural fusion. We have our guest, which is Nicolas de Menten. He is the Regulatory Manager of FytoFend. It's a biotech company that is rooted in innovation all the way here in Belgium, and it's about sustainable agriculture. So welcome, Nicolas. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Ludmila. Thanks for having me.
I know that you have a lot of experience with Brazil and other countries.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little, but it's starting. It's going to grow further for sure. And I want to know more about the vision of FytoFend, not only how you started, but when you noticed that, wow, this is going to be beyond Belgium. We're going to go overseas.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it's actually started from an overseas vision because basically we started with a product that was made for powdery and downy mildew of grapes, of vegetables, and that's not two crops that are really rooted in Belgium. The first step was already an expansion one, an out of the country one, and we actually only selling in Belgium since about 3 years, while our product is on the market since 2015.
Wow.
So yeah, it's the other way around actually.
Yeah, that's very funny. It's very unusual to be the other way around. And many companies, they struggle to go from lab to, as a proper company and even going overseas. But you managed to do that, as you just said. How was your experience in going to so many different places like Kenya, Denmark, Spain, now Brazil?
Yeah, but it's always about finding the good partners, the good local partners. And it's really, like a path that we are following, but which is mostly directing us, basically. So we go from one country to the next, then we meet a new distributor, then we move around. We find new users that we didn't think about that got from the field, basically the growers saying, okay, we are using the product in roses, but then actually we noticed that in banana it's working fine. And we said, okay, we didn't think about banana. And so we just give it a try and we just continue evolving organically.
That was actually one of the questions I had, like in terms of adaptation of your products, but also maybe different countries will have farmers' mentalities that are very different. I don't know if that impacts you. Regulations, as you may know that very well.
It's on the regulation side, it's really complicated. Even in Europe, when they say, okay, it's harmonized at EU level, but it's not really true. Every regulation is different. Every country is different. The experts are different. The growers are different. The distributors. So you really have to adapt and to be ready to change and to,
like to mold according to the country.
Yeah, you have to really mold.
Do you have any story that you had to adapt like quite a lot? That was like, oh, I will never forget this experience.
We had some good surprises, like I said, about the banana. So that was an Ecuadorian grower that came out, was working on roses, tried it on a whim on banana. I think it was like a surplus of the tank mix, and he noticed something. We had the same in Morocco, where they were using it on tomato, another product, and then they realized that, okay, that's working tremendously well against Cladosporium, and we didn't even know about the disease actually. So it really depends. That's what's driving us the most is actually the feedback from the field, and we try to surf on that kind of way.
And we didn't mention properly the products that you develop. So you have biostimulants, right?
We have both. We have biostimulants since actually not that long ago, and we mostly have biocontrol products. So products that are registered and used as plant defense inducer in our case, so as a biological organic pesticide. So they went the whole same regulatory path to be authorized. So same efficacy to prove, same, of course, health, absence of health issues, no residue, etc. And as we are working with plant defense inducer, they are a bit different from the classic pesticides, as they are not targeting the pathogens, but they are really boosting the plants to be able to defend themselves. So that's what we are actually doing. We help the plant to defend. Kind of like a vaccine, yeah.
And how was your experience in Brazil to bring this product, but also as the overall economic mission? Because you attended the Royal Economic Mission with Princess Astrid of Belgium.
Yes.
That was last November
Yep.
2024. So good weather in Brazil.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah. So how was your experience there?
All in all, it was a really good and profitable experience. I think we met a lot of stakeholders from university, researcher, distributors, met some farmers also. And that was really, really interesting to see everybody and the interest of everybody that we got. So the local distributors or the farmers were really looking into what we were doing. They were curious about it. And you can really feel an appetite for innovation, for green solution, for alternatives. So that was really interesting. And so now, yeah, we are talking with, I would say, 3 to 4 different companies and trying to move things around. And we are only at the beginning of the regulatory path, but hopefully it will go fairly fast now that for the biostimulant side, at least, with the new bioinsumos law that Brazil just put up quite recently. That's quite interesting for us because, yeah.
Wow, amazing to see, because we also have a very strong innovation community in Brazil for agriculture, of course. And it's good to see that your product all the way from Belgium is actually going to be well adopted there. You know, in terms of market size, it's good for you and all of these things, right?
Yeah, the market size, of course, is enormous. Brazil is so
Yeah,
big, especially
huge,
compared
yeah.
to Belgium. And yeah, I think it could be an interesting tool for the growers to add to their toolbox.
And the way you expand to these markets, and let's say Brazil as well, is finding distributors that could be strategic for you.
Yes, that's the way. We are a very small company. We are actually only 12 people. So we cannot handle countries.
Yeah.
The only one we are kind of handling is Belgium for the last 3 years, where we try to be more indirect. But except for that country or for the rest of them, we are just working with distributors. We have to carefully pick them out.
Yeah.
Because we really want biocontrol focused distributors that have kind of the same vision that we do.
And Brazil, with so many biomes, we have about 6 different biomes in the country. Do you see like I can go all of them, or you target one specific biome, or it doesn't matter to you?
It will depend on the crops we are aiming at, depending on the distributors, what are their strengths or their priorities.
It depends on your partner
Exactly.
to tell you exactly.
But for the mode of action of the products, most of them, I would say like 4 out of 5 products we do have for the moment, are working as plant defense inducer or as elicitors in some way of the plant, may they be in immunity or the vigor. And so they depend not on the crop nor on the biome, but really on the cell membrane receptors. And those, every plant has them. So for that, it's kind of easier for all kind of products to enter different ones.
To also adapt to the...
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they do adapt quite a lot. And yeah, we will see how the different plants react, because you never know, maybe some won't react that good. But
Yeah. And why did you decide to go to so many different places, like Kenya, Spain, Denmark, Brazil, and so on and so forth?
But there was a lot of opportunities. Like, for example, Kenya, it was, it just opened. We had a contact from them to say, okay, we are working with roses. We know that you're working with roses in Ecuador. Can we try it in Kenya to see how it was, how it could work here? And so we did it. We did some trials. They were super happy with the results. And then as a follow-up, we went for it and got the registration. But it's mostly like that. So it's a request from the field, from the people. And then we say, okay, let's go. Although we are very small, so 12 people, we are now present in about 40 countries.
Wow,
So
that's a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a lot for a small company like us.
Wow, it's like 3 countries per person.
Yeah, more or less.
Did I make the calculation right? I don't know now. I just arrived last night, so
Jet lag.
yes. And so going to these places, I'm pretty sure that at some point, one experience or another, any story that you have going overseas kind of made a difference for your growth. I don't know if there was one that was like the tipping point that, okay, now we are at scale.
I don't know about the tipping point, but there is a funny one that I like.
I love funny stories, so bring them on.
Although, yeah, we are really small. We do have some different cultural backgrounds, each of us, most of us. And for example, our CEO is of Italian origin, and so that helps us for that market. And from my side, I'm fluent in Spanish. I finished my studies there in Madrid. And then we were in some years ago in a meeting with our local Spanish distributors. Everybody was talking in English to be able to be understood by everybody. And it was doing so not really that good. I could sense really like a tension around the table. And after a while, I realized that some of the guys from the Spanish distributors are talking in Spanish and they kind of get frustrated, didn't get some points. Okay, so I heard that. Okay, I shifted to Spanish, started discussing with them. Then about halfway through the discussion, they said, "Oh, but you speak Spanish, damn it." And so to relax, they opened literally the button of their shirt, and it was way easier from that point on.
Yeah,
and it worked. And the interesting part is that at that time, the company was just bought not so long ago by a Japanese company, and the Japanese manager was there and following the discussion. And no, that was about 6 years ago, something like that. And last year, that same Japanese guy contacted us, working from another company now in Japan, and asked us for collaboration in Japan. So basically, it went from a smooth Spanish conversation and meeting to now trials that we are doing in Japan. So that's a funny one.
Yeah, that's how cultural fusion, like knowing how to engage with different cultures make a difference, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So nice. This is small detail that is very cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
And even the Japanese, he also opened the button and relaxed because it's funny to imagine. They are so like by the book.
No, he stayed really Japanese, but he's a really really nice guy. Yeah.
So he has the vibes.
Yeah, he has the vibes. Actually, he's really really cool.
Cool. Very nice. Okay. There is a question that I want to make to you. I see ecosystems in different countries.
Mm-hmm.
Y Combinator in the US is really popular because their startups, they grow very fast. And they have something that they say of a replicable model. So once you start in a company, for you to speed your growth, you have to have the same model everywhere you go. However, you just said that you adapt quite well when you go to each country. And at the same time, finding your distributors. So you do have a balance of replicable model, but also adapting to the local community, environment, people. So how do you see that for you in terms of growth? Or maybe in general, not necessarily for FytoFend, but for companies to scale, in a good pace. Do they need to be more replicable or do they need to adapt more to each country?
From my point of view, but as you said, I'm a regulatory and technical manager, more into adaptability. I don't really believe in replicating. Replicating is boring, so that's just my point of view. But indeed, it can make some shortcuts. So it's quite important to have some major steps maybe to be replicable, but be really, really fast in adaptability. So you have to say, okay, as a first step, we will go there, find a distributor, for example, for us, in our case, that works with us, has a good biocontrol vibe, and that we will replicate. And then from then on, with that guy, we will adapt and we will see how to work, like with path to take, with regulation to follow, which crops to reach, and how to talk to the growers.
And in this adaptation, did you ever feel at some point that you had to relearn something or re-engineer completely something that you already had?
Yes, absolutely. Last year, more or less, we lost one of our key distributors in one of our major country. And that was kind of a shock because that was really a big part of our turnover. And we decided to actually take it over, rebrand. So we hired a marketing manager that we never did. We are all agronomists, so marketing is absolutely a totally different approach. So less scientific talk, more direct talk for the growers, for the distributors. We explored from that point the biostimulant pathway that we let on the side for a long time. And now we already have one biostimulant out, the second one coming in at EU level, so for the whole Europe, and a third one basically ready to submit. We had to pivot quite literally and readapt and reimagine ourselves, at least for that country, but it serves as a whole because we are rebranding everywhere now.
Wow.
So yeah, that was quite interesting.
And did you ever feel that something you've been building was too early to the market, but then you saw, okay, the timing actually was right, but apparently it seemed like too early with the innovation R&D that you were developing?
Yeah, I think that's what happened when the company got its first product out. It was a PhytoSave with Kosoga technology, so that's our active substance that is registered at EU level. It came out in 2015, so there was some interest, but not that much. The field technicians still were looking more into, okay, I can sell a truck of that classic conventional pesticide in about 10-minute talks. For your product, I have to talk for 1 hour to sell a box. So it was not the right time. The ministries also, they were evaluating it as a pesticide, so they could not tick some boxes because biocontrol products don't fit in boxes. They are different,
Yeah.
so they have to be considered differently also. And we're really seeing since 2015, 10 years ago, that it's changing. It's starting to really get there. So basically, I think that product was too early out, and timing is really everything.
Yeah.
But now we can see that the growers are wanting that. The ministries are pushing for this kind of product. And even the technician, like the field technician, even though they still prefer to sell one truck in 10 minutes, they are starting to really say, okay, that product is still interesting. I will spend some time explaining how it works, etc. So yeah, sometimes.
And and as you work with biostimulants, right? As your company, as the company that you work for, do you have any situation that you had to get some biostimulants to face hard times? Like to make the team stronger, to have a different moment in the company?
Yes, we had many of those. Because
you can say it's my bread and butter, right?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, it's always the problem in agriculture. It's always working in waves and in so
very volatile.
Yeah, up and down all the time. Also, being the strength of a small company is like we put up together, we stand up together, and we help each other out. So when there is a big order that we did not expect, because sometimes it happens,
which is a great problem to have.
That's an awesome problem to have. Well, everybody from the lab, from the offices, from everywhere, everybody is in the production hall and doing bottles, sticking labels, and being there. And if it's complicated, then we go in the field and we see why it's complicated, and we go see our distributors, say, okay, what's happening? How can we help? How can we move forward? And we are usually doing that as a team. We try to stay as agile as possible.
Yeah, that's cool. And culture here in Europe, or maybe in Belgium in particular, people think it's very different from Brazil. But there are some similarities that helps a lot. And this is what I've been hearing from people here in Wallonia. I don't know if that's because we share like the same spirit. I don't know. Do you feel similarities between Brazil and Belgium? How do you see that?
Yeah, I see that there is a sense of party, but also that's an important one.
Yes,
but
that's
also
where we bond, right? So we created the partnerships.
Exactly, that's how you do it. But what I really noticed when I was there, it's kind of an open mind is from the Brazilian. They're always looking out, curious, and welcoming to everybody, every innovation. And in Belgium and in Wallonia specifically, it's also the case. We are always looking out. Maybe it's because our country is so small, so you have to look out or you just die on yourself.
Yeah.
And Brazil, I think it's the opposite. It's because you're so big and there is so many different cultural traits and mixtures.
You're always busy. Like I still have to grow in the country.
Exactly. The emulation is constant.
Yeah.
And so, I think it could be really a good partnership.
Yeah, true.
Because we are kind of same-minded in that kind of a spirit.
Yeah. And the way I see is Brazil is so big that companies, they're not exposed to the global environment as often as people in Europe, in the Middle East, because I live in Dubai. So these experiences with other countries actually benefit a lot. And it's a shortcut for companies in Brazil. if they don't have this experience, how they can fast track, it's through partnerships with companies like yours and other places like that. That's so true. And what is your advice for people or for founders that are going global? What to do and what not to do that you usually see people could make mistakes? Because you've been in so many countries. I see that you are representing the company everywhere. So you kind of see like, there is a pattern here.
Yeah, I would say the first point would be to stay true to yourself and then to find local partners. You really need the local people in every single country, and you need their trust and you need them to advance and be able to help and grow the country.
Yeah.
So that's, for me, it's the most important part.
That's a good question. That was not in the script. How do you identify a good trusted partner? Because trust takes time. And when you're going overseas, you need to find a local partner distributor as soon as possible. How do you find the right partner in this situation?
And that's really complicated. I must admit that quite a lot of the partners we're working with found us. Even in countries we didn't think about, they just contact us and we say, okay, that country, yeah, why not? We are next to it with that and there, here and there. So that's quite interesting. And then we try to, we first have a meeting or usually video now, but we try to meet them in person. That's really the most important, to get the feeling, the gut feeling.
You go to the place, you go to the country,
go to the place, visit
their
the
office,
fields, visit their crops, visit their manufacturing hall or just their storing hall, and try to get a sense of who they are and see if it's possible to work with them. Usually, when you've seen the people in real life, when you've been able to walk and talk a little bit with them, have a meal or whatever, you can really feel if trust is possible or not. And usually we build like that. That's why we are mostly working actually with smaller local companies. Instead, we do play with some big players, but we like it better with smaller, more country-focused distributors, because they are truer to the reality of the.
They still need to prove themselves and grow themselves, right? So they would do whatever it takes to grow together with you.
Exactly.
So I think it's a good criteria too.
Yeah, and it's a shared one, because you help them to give you tips for the countries, and you say, okay, so we're gonna do it like that, and it's a shared.
And it's a balanced, let's say, power bargain. Let's call it this way. Because, like each other is helping. So it's a win-win. Yeah, exactly. It's different when it's too big, like, okay, what are you going to give me? And they don't do much. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
And what's next? So what are the other countries that you are overseeing or expecting?
Okay. We are still developing quite a lot in Latin America. So either as a biocontrol or as a biostimulant, we are exploring new candidate distributors, let's say, and discussing with them. We are waiting for the US EPA approval. They are way behind, but we are still hoping for it to happen sometimes. And then I would say that probably continuing the expansion in Africa, and maybe at some point start Asia. Asia, we are not really present. But that
are
would
you
be
present in the Middle East? Or you're considering that as Asia as well?
We are present in the Middle East, not everywhere yet, but we are starting with a new distributor. You talked about Dubai. We are registered in the Emirates since 2019, I think.
Wow.
But we are relaunching with a new distributor now, actually.
Let me know, so then I go to the launch party. Very good. So we're reaching the end. I have a final fun and light question to you. If FytoFend were a plant in Brazil, as we have a diverse biome, for the diversity of Brazil's sake and for the Belgian science sake, which plant would FytoFend be and why?
That's a huge ecosystem indeed. To please my daughter, I would say any plant that is being eaten by the super cute capybaras. But
I like that, yes.
On a more scientific note, I would say the Magnolia nuenfolia, I think that's the Jurema preta.
Okay. Well, you're going to know more than me, so I'll just go, yeah, sure.
I like that one because actually, first off, it's a pretty one. There's beautiful flowers, nice leaves. But
I'm going to Google after that.
it's super adaptable. It's a regenerative plant. It's super deep rooted. It has some medicinal uses, some biostimulant pesticides uses also. And so, that's what we aim to be at FytoFend. It's that it's super adaptable, deep rooted in science, but helping everybody quietly to grow and get better.
Cool. What is the name again? Jurema?
Jurema preta.
Jurema Preto. Wow.
That's from the Caatinga
You
region.
see, the beauty of this is I learn about my own country when I do these sessions here. Amazing. Cool. I loved our conversation. Thank you so much, Nicolas, for coming here.
Thanks a lot.
We hope you grow very fast in Brazil, go very big, and we'll see you soon there and in other countries as well.
Perfect.
Thank
Cheers.
you.